How to make a low offer without insulting. Guys, by the end of this video, you're gonna learn how to get homes at 40, 50 cents on the dollar by following just a simple process of making low offers, but without offending the homeowner. Hey guys, in this video, I'm gonna be sharing you 3 tips so that you can make these low offers without insulting or offending the homeowner. But ultimately, guys, stick with me to the end because number 3, that's the one where most people make the biggest mistakes. All right, let's get this crazy message out of the way right now. Ultimately, guys, when this low offer, what we're talking about, I want you to know that it's gonna be uncomfortable. There's never gonna be a time that you're gonna get over it. There's never gonna be a time where it's gonna be comfortable to just go out there and make this low offer. Your gut is always going to hurt when you make these offers. You're gonna be sitting there thinking, oh, my stomach hurts when I say this number. I'm either gonna get punched in the face or I'm gonna get shooed out of the house. But guys, if you don't feel those feelings, and if you don't kind of feel that fear of, oh, I might get kicked out of the home, you're doing it wrong. But if you do this process that I'm gonna share with you right now, you'll never have to really comp homes ever again. And that's probably one of the biggest hiccups when it comes to real estate and wholesaling in general is, what's the home worth? What should I make my offer for? Just follow this process and you'll realize comping, no longer an issue. Knowing how much you can offer on the home, no longer an issue. So let's get to those 3 tips right now. Tip number 1, guys, is build rapport. This is crucial. Now, you guys probably hear that, you're like, Cody, that's what everyone says, build rapport. But let me give you a real-time example of what this actually means. The first thing is when you go out to these homes, they're gonna wanna just speed through it. You're gonna come to the door and they're gonna be walking upstairs and say, okay, what do you wanna go see first? Do you wanna go see the kitchen, the restrooms, the master bathroom, the backyard? What do you wanna go see? You've gotta slow them down. So real time, what do? We're always looking for things in the homes. We're looking for pictures on the wall. We're looking for maybe even like the furniture in there. And we're really starting to have some kind of engagement, some kind of conversation. So if there's a picture on the wall, for example, in Utah, a home we just went into had a picture of an arch. It's called Delicate Arch. It's in Moab, Utah. Beautiful place. A lot of people from around the world go there. I stopped him. I said, man, that's a beautiful picture. Is that Delicate Arch? He's like, yeah, that's one of our favorite places to go. We love Moab. Well, this allowed me now to just sit there and work on things that we have in common, right? I love going to Moab. I love going down with my family. We camp there at least once a year. So we were able to talk about that and share that I have 4 kids and he shared that he has grandkids and we started just finding out all the things that we have in common. Now, what about the things that you don't have in common? Maybe I don't like Moab. Maybe I think it's awful. In fact, right now it's probably 115 degrees and me and heat, we just don't like it, right? And maybe it's something I'm just like, why would you ever go to Moab? That's awful. So what I don't want you to be is a chameleon. This can also hurt you. Let me tell you a quick story. My business partner, telling about his family, his sister and brother-in-law were getting a quote, I think on like a fence or something like that. They're sitting in the living room and the sales guy comes in and they start talking and somehow throughout the conversation, they figure out that they belong to a certain church and all of a sudden the sales rep's like, oh my gosh, I'm a member of that church too. And he started being the chameleon, right? I'm a member of that church. And they start talking. And at the end of it, he gets up after his presentation, is walking out the door, and he's like, that's a cool picture on the wall. Is that your dad? And the lady's like, no, that's the prophet of the church that you said you're a member of. Ouch, guys. Being a chameleon actually hurt this guy. They didn't do business with him because the guy was just lying through his teeth throughout the whole conversation, and it made them wonder, what else was he lying about? Is this really the best product? Can I really trust this company? So don't be a chameleon. If you don't like something, for me, I don't like cats. I hope you don't hold this against me. So if I'm in a home and people don't like cats, I literally tell them, hey, what is it about cats that you like? I haven't really been a big fan of them my whole life, but maybe you can teach me on what it is you like about them. Find ways to have even some kind of empathy, sympathy of things that they like, even if you don't like them. Number 2 is get their price first, right? He or she that says their price first loses. Don't be the first person to set the price. Find out their price. Now, what about those like staunchy people that you're there and they're not gonna tell you the price? They're like, you sent me the postcard. What do you wanna buy my home for? Really start asking different questions. I don't know, tell me, what is it that helps you? How much are you looking to get out of it? And if they don't like that, try other ways. How much money do you need to walk away with so that you can move on to plan B and make this as smooth as possible? Think outside the box. but you never want to be the first person to tell price, because he or she that says the price first loses. Before we get on to tip number 3, I'd love for you guys to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so it alerts you when we put out fresh new content, and so that you can share this with individuals that might be looking for this same information that you're looking for. Tip number 3, and this is where most people go wrong. This is where they start to say a price that's too close to what they want and offer. Guys, it's called setting an anchor. Now, this comes from a book called Never Split the Difference. It's an author that is incredible, right? He is Chris Voss. This guy was the one over like hostage situations. And so whenever there was like a bank hold up and there's a gun to 20 people's heads, they called Chris Voss. He was the one negotiating this. He was the one that would be brought in. And why does he call it never split the difference? Because you can't split a hostage. So we always talk about this in sales, and it seems natural to be like, oh, they're at 200, I'm at 100. Hey, let's split the difference. Let's meet in the middle and be 150. He's like, I never split the difference. Why? Because I can't split a hostage. And so his principles are very sound. If you're looking for a great read, go look it up. It's an amazing read. Ultimately, what is the anchor? They're usually gonna set theirs, the seller is gonna set like a kite, right? They're gonna say, hey, we need 500,000 for this home in a home that's worth maybe 400,000. But what you gotta do is set an anchor. And you can't just be a comfortable anchor. Remember we talked about at the beginning, your guts gotta hurt. You gotta feel this in your mind like, ooh, they're either gonna punch me or they're gonna kick me out the door. A good anchor means it's gonna be unrealistic and it solicits a no. Those are the two things you gotta remember. Unrealistic and solicits a no. So even if they told you the home, they owe 150,000. Let's say the home's worth 250,000. They tell you, I owe 150, so I can't go lower than that. Guess what, guys? You've got to anchor lower than that. Your guts got to hurt. You got to fear that you're going to get kicked out of the home. So you would set an anchor something like this. You know, I can't do 250, but what if I could do 130? Guys, we just found out we're 20 grand less than what they own the property. What's the chances that they're gonna say yes to this? 0, but that's a good thing. Why? Because I just set an anchor that was unrealistic and it's going to solicit a no. They're gonna be like, no, I can't do that. Guys, don't fear no. No is the beginning of all negotiation. You have to hear no. If you hear yes, you didn't go low enough. You left money on the table. Be welcoming. Normally in our whole life, we've been told no, so no is this bad thing. And so in our minds, we're like, I don't want to hear the seller say no. You must, in this case, have the seller say no, because that's the beginning of all negotiation. So what do we do after they say no? They're going to tell you, no, I can't do that. Just sit there for a little bit. Don't worry about it. Don't think about, oh man, this is over, everything's gone. No, just sit there for a second and say, okay. Now again, my warm and fuzzy, it's probably around 130. So tell me this, how close can you get to this number? Because they're usually going to fire back. I can't do that. That's absurd. That's not going to work. Okay, I know that's my warm and fuzzy number, but tell me this. How close can you get to that number? What does this allow you to do? This allows you to not have to negotiate for the next price, but it allows them to negotiate against themselves. And we always see this happen where they're like, okay, they wanted 250, we offered 130. How close can you get to 130? And now they're saying, well, we could probably go to 200,000. Guys, now this is hypothetical. This isn't a real-time case study, but you'll see people drop $20, $30, $40, $50,000 by just asking that one simple question. You didn't have to get them to lower it. They lowered it because you did it the right way. Hey guys, it's a free gift. I've left a link down below in the description for my real estate negotiation strategy crash course where I go more in depth about these negotiation strategies so you can get out there and start closing deals.